Hey everyone, typically we record an episode and Nintendo goes and drops an update, showing off a load of new adventures and features. So we wanted to jump straight in on this. This means the morning announcement section will be in two parts. One before the update, and the second we will discuss the update and give our thoughts on it all. Enjoy the episode, and thanks, as always, for listening.
Well.
Welcome to Dad Crossing, a podcast about animals and parenting. In today's episode, we're going to discuss our dad fails. We all have them. Why we think pre-ordering can be a minefield, and when is this Thanksgiving update ever going to arrive? With today's guest, the one, the only, Dan Blockfort Retro, the infamous time pirate, Caporello.
Back from the past.
How have you been? Yeah, you're back. How have you been, man?
Pretty good. Pretty bad, actually. Not so great, but also okay. I don't really know, you know?
So a regular 2020 for you.
It's been a little up and down lately, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of creative things, which is cool. I got my podcast going. The store's up and running. But it's also like all three of my tiny children, 1-year-old, 3-year-old, and 5-year-old are at home now all the time. And my wife is at school full time. So I am kind of like both like full-time caregiver and trying to like keep money coming in. It's crazy. Life is insane right now.
Yeah.
So that's how I am.
Sounds good. You just want to tell those little like knee biters, listen, you bug me and you don't get to eat. So why don't you go play so that you have food on the table?
Yeah.
But they don't get it. They don't.
The 1-year-old doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Basically living in an Eddie Murphy film.
Oh, totally.
Daddy Daycare.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is.
Well, it's good to have you back. Thanks for coming on. Sean, how about you, man? How have you been since last time we chatted?
I'm okay. I've been really busy. So I'm going to take this time to apologize now for everybody in the Discord and on social media that we interact with. I've had absolutely no time this week for anything. It's been my bad week. So I worked 72 hours in 1 week, and it's been my son's birthday. So it's just been crazy. And the wife started a new college course to become a teacher. So she's also like gone from doing okay with her time to now the only time spare that she has is for sleep, and that's very little. So
that's a big deal, man. That's a big time commitment. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a 2-year course. So
yeah, and
she started it 6 months late nearly. So they allowed her, because she's got previous qualifications in things. They've allowed her to like join the course late. So she's been playing catch up. So she's had loads to do, and they've already offered her some paid teaching slots as well. So
I have no doubt. I mean, I don't know how it is that over there, but I mean, over here, man, we're begging for teachers, quite frankly. We were begging before the pandemic, and now it's just worse.
Yeah, it's the college that she works in. It's that college that she's now working for, and she's offered basically because she's already a support teacher. They've offered her time to actually teach and paid. So she's kind of like gone from doing nothing with teaching other than sitting in a class and sort of like helping kids that need the support from somebody, to now learning to be the tutor and tutoring in the same college at the same time. So
awesome.
Wow.
Hence why I got the message from you the other day asking if everything was okay. It's just been madness.
Yeah, you did, man. Normally I hear from you, and I hadn't heard from you at all. And I mean, that's on me. I hadn't really reached out, but I was like, all right, I got to reach out to Sean to make sure life's okay for him over there, because I haven't heard a single thing from him. So yeah, but I'm glad. I'm sorry life's been so busy, but I'm glad everything's okay overall. For me, man, life has been nuts over here as well. Not really like time, just COVID related. I think I said last time I was here, I thought last time we had a podcast, I thought maybe I had COVID. I think I just had a really bad cold, maybe pneumonia. I tested negative. And then last week, man, we were all ready to have like a bunch of people over for, not a bunch. Okay, let me back up. That sounds really bad.
Whoa,
Pandemic
whoa.
of 2020. Yeah, okay. 4 friends over to do an Extra Life stream on this last Saturday. And then my wife comes home and says, yeah, somebody in our school, I was in contact with somebody in our school who just tested positive for COVID. And we were trying to like thread that needle. Should we go? Should we not go? She wasn't showing any symptoms. Or should we have this stream, have these people over or not? And then everybody, or at least 3 of the 4 were like, yeah, sure, I will still come over. I think everything's fine. And then it dropped that there were like a couple more people who possibly got it, or not possibly, but who tested positive. And then at that point I was like, hard stop. I was like, nope. I was like, I don't know if you have it or not, but we're not going to go there. So I ended up doing stream by myself. We're still waiting for her test. So far, she's fine. She doesn't show any symptoms. I mean, so hopefully all will be well when that test comes in. But yeah, COVID's been a little crazy over here. Just kind of in that realm. So I've been working from home, just not really, they don't give you, at least in our country, they don't give you great instruction. Like I was like, well, what should I do? My wife came in contact with it. She's supposed to stay home. Am I supposed to stay home too? And they're like, meh. Yeah. That's pretty much the answer they gave me. Meh. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Over here, because Lindsay had that same incident. So she was in a classroom, an IT classroom, and she couldn't. It's impossible in an IT classroom with the computers and the stations, how they're set out, as best as you can to try and spread the pupils apart. Because she's a support teacher, she has to be near somebody. So she was close to somebody who then tested positive. She was told to stay at home for 14 days. She wasn't allowed to leave the house. She couldn't go anywhere, but me and the kids were free to come and go as we chose.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we've come with too. We emailed both of the kids' schools and said, hey, this is what's going on. What do you want? And they said, as long as nobody shows symptoms, they can come to school. So they've been going to school. So
that's what my work was like. Because as soon as I contacted them, and they said, as soon as you start to show any symptoms, you then have to stay at home. And if your wife starts to show symptoms, then that's it, stay at home. But other than that, come into work. So
yeah, and that's pretty much what that's like what I've surmised. I actually just went off of because the one thing that does have rules is the schools. So I just kind of went off of what the schools did. I was like, well, if the kids can go to school, I guess I'll just go to work then. Like nobody really had any real answers for me, but I was like, well, if I'm going to send my kids to work or to school, I guess I can go to work. And so that's what I chose. So that's been crazy to deal with, but we've been managing. And just really quick plug, thank you to all the people who donated to Extra Life. I normally do this with a youth group and raise like $2,000. Obviously no youth group. Then there was I ended up doing it the way I never wanted to do Extra Life, just to be honest. Like when I thought of doing this, I thought doing this alone sounds like no fun. So like, I'll do it with a youth group. Well, that was out. And so I'll do it with a handful of friends. Well, then that came out. So here I am doing Extra Life alone. I mean, I brought my kids down as much as I could, but still I was pretty much alone. And it was so awesome. We had so many of the Discord Patreons come on, pop on, say, hey, just be like, oh, that's a cool game you're playing, or, whatever. I just really appreciate it. We got $633 was our tally out of our $500 goal. Yeah. So I was really, really excited for that, and appreciate all the help we got from so many different people. One of the guys that was going to show up, who I couldn't have show up, actually is on our Discord, The Duke, who is a IRL friend. I don't know how you say that. Like we actually know each other. I know you guys do. It's so weird. Like, how do you describe that? But we actually come to each other's houses, that kind of thing. And so he was awesome. He was texting me all throughout the day and chatting with me on stream. And so that was great. I didn't feel as alone because of that. So that was good. All right. That's enough of that. What have you guys been playing lately? Sean, why don't we start with you?
Okay. Short and sweet for me because it's been so busy. I picked up the Doom Eternal DLC. I think it's the Ancient Gods Part 1. So I started playing that. It's harder than the main campaign.
And you thought the main campaign was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of like it picks up where the main campaign left off. So I've got all the unlocks that I had and everything like that, but they just throw more and more minions of hell at me. So it's like there's a certain enemy that I don't like, and I can't remember if it's called the Hell Knight or the Doom Hunter. Sorry, and he's so hard. There's only one time you can pop a shot at him, and you kind of got to wait for his eyes to go green, and then you've got like a split second chance to actually hit him. Other than that, he deflects every shot. He just is relentless, and he's really fast. And it's the one where I tend to hold my breath when I'm against him because it's the only way I can focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. Within 15 minutes of launching the DLC, they put me in a point where I was facing two of them at the same time, as well as other pretty big, hefty enemies that take quite a bit of concentration and work it. So I kind of ended up holding my breath, sweaty palms, and when I finally got through it, put the controller down and had to have a 10-minute break. It was heavy. But fantastic. So,
man, I love Doom. I love that whole the new series of Doom. It's so good.
It's just so fast paced, and I don't normally like Halo. You jump around a lot and stuff. I normally don't like that style of first person shooter, but
Doom the Unreal Engine, Unreal Tournaments type of stuff. Yeah. It's just that shooters for so long have been all cover shooters. And it's just, it's fine if you like that. I haven't played a shooter in 10 years because of that. It's it's boring. I want to go blow some stuff up.
Yeah. But Doom, you can't stay still. There's no way you can play it like that. And it's the only game that I enjoy that's like that. Rest of them, Call of Duty, that style stuff, I quite enjoy, but this is just madness. And the music, like I said it last time, the music, it just makes the game so much better because it kind of adds the element of how making the game fast paced. I think if you took the music away, the game would seem to be slower. But yeah, but for what I've been playing, that's it. I literally had about an hour and a half to myself this week.
It's great. That's life, though, man. I get it. Yeah, I have not downloaded it yet. I said I would. I will download it and play. Probably not much of it, but I will download it on Game Pass and give it a shot because, well, I don't think I've ever played a Doom game. And so I feel like I'm definitely not going to beat a Doom game. I'm just going to be real honest.
Which one is on Game Pass, 2016 or the new one, Eternal?
Doom Eternal's on Game Pass.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't even answer that question. Go
with Microsoft.
They bought Bethesda. That's right.
So they've got the rights pretty much to everything they ever made.
Yeah, so I do want to rectify the fact that I've never played a Doom game, but I'm probably not going to ever beat a Doom game. So, but that's cool.
You could beat the first one. You could beat 2016.
2016. Is that the one that's on Switch?
Yeah.
Yes.
You could beat that one. It's depending on your difficulty mode, obviously, but it is a quick romp to beat that game.
Okay. Yeah, and I have no problem being on baddie mode. I'm good with that. I'll own that all day long.
I did the 2016 one on nightmare mode. I did it on that. I can't do this one on anything higher than, I think it's called Hurt Me Plenty, which is the second tier of difficulty. So it starts with basically, I'm a tiny little baby, I've never played the game before in my life. Then you've got Hurt Me Plenty, which is that I'm not so much of a little bit of a baby, but make it a tiny bit harder. I've got it on that, and it's hard. So they've definitely turned it up.
Yeah. Oh, Doom Eternal is also on Stadia. So
there you go.
So worth it.
Before I get way off, well, actually, no, never mind. I'm not going to go there. Dan, what have you been playing?
Okay, so I am a YouTube Premium subscriber, and you may be asking yourself, Dan, what does YouTube Premium have to do with video games? Well, Google was giving away a Stadia Premium bundle, which is a controller and a Chromecast Ultra, to YouTube Premium subscribers. If you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, you got a free controller and a free Chromecast. I was like, well, thank you very much, Google. I'll be taking that Chromecast. And I've popped Stadia on this week just to kind of, in my web browser, just to kind of check it out, just to be like, all right, what's this all about? Did not have a great experience playing cloud in the cloud with Control on the Switch. Just the controls were too delayed and weird, and I just never got around. I could never wrap my head around it. So Stadia, on the other hand, it works differently because the controller is connected directly to the server through Wi-Fi and not through your computer. So your controller is always in sync with your game, which made a huge difference. There was still a little bit of like stuttering every once in a while, some frame drops, and the resolution would drop every once in a while. Because I mean, I have terrible internet at my house, so the fact that it works at all is a miracle. But it did not really affect. I mean, the way I played Doom 2016, speaking of Doom, was on my Switch. So obviously resolution and frame rate is not going to, I don't care about that. I just want to be able to play my game. Right. So, and I'm really, really impressed, very impressed with how playable Stadia is on a computer, on Wi-Fi. I mean, the worst of it was like twice in my hour-long gameplay, it would stop for 5 seconds and have to buffer, and everything would pause, and then you'd go back into your game. That was like the worst of it, and it happened twice. And like it sucks. Like you're sitting there like, okay, is this going to come back on? Then like it immediately comes back on, and you're like, okay, good, and you keep playing. So that's like the worst of it. And if that's the worst of it, then Stadia is pretty great as far as I can tell. It's still lacking in like the game library, and I wish there were better free stuff. Because you still have to pay $60 for a game that lives in the cloud, which is I'm not a huge fan of. But at this point, if it keeps performing the way that it has been, I'm considering seriously picking up Cyberpunk on Stadia, and that's just being my next gen console. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So the game that I played on Stadia was Panzer Dragoon, the remake. It was originally a Sega Saturn game that they did some upgrading, some better graphics for, and plays great. Plays a little bit like a Star Fox on rails shooter, with some different controls, less dogfighting, a lot more shooting and puzzle solving with the bosses and everything. And I've never played it before, but I'm having an absolute blast with it. Huge Star Fox fan, so it's like right up my alley, the on rails thing. So yeah, also Stadia controller is one of the most comfortable controllers I've ever used, hands down. Super great. Up on par, I'd say, with a Pro controller, Switch Pro controller. Really, really good controller.
Nice.
So that's about it for me. I've been playing a lot of Pikmin 3, trying to bust my way through it before Age of Calamity comes out on Friday, which then I have another couple weeks before Immortals.
Oh, I'm so excited about that game.
Me too. I'm super hype. It looks like Breath of the Wild so much, like just like that kind of open world craziness with more RPG stuff in it. So that is my gaming world right now. Still doing some retro stuff. Still playing through. We do a segment on Retro Logic called Crossplay, where I challenge my co-host to play a game he's never played, and vice versa. I'm playing Star Tropics for the first time. And it's really, really good. Just like a super solid, fun action, NES action RPG. With your typical limitations of any NES game, and like getting around some weird controls. But I mean, like, I'm honestly shocked I've never played it before because it is really good. Like, it's Dragon Warrior, Legend of Zelda up there, really good. And I made John, my co-host, play Shadows of the Empire. And he says it's great, but he's only played 3 levels. So we'll see once he gets to the IG-88 battle if he keeps playing after that. So
I was going to say, I think you got the better deal on this one, just to be
definitely.
You're making me want to pick up but to play it on Nintendo Switch Online and just try it, because I played it, and I feel like I played it, and I was so young that I got stuck somewhere, and that's all I remember is being stuck somewhere and then just giving up. So I really would like to possibly like maybe pick it up and see how far I get, and maybe cheat a lot and use the rewind and the saves just to get through it. So
I do use the rewind a lot because the battle system is kind of effed, so it's tough. But and you know, I'm playing it to like get the experience of it, not to like brute force my way through this tough game. I just want to play it. So I don't feel bad about it. I'm just gonna play it how I want to. But so, yeah.
Before I ask you, Nick, about what you've been playing, because I know you've picked up the new shiny thing, I just want to take the opportunity to like remind everybody that obviously Dan disappeared from us a few episodes back, but he has done it for good reasons. He started a new podcast, which he's dropped there, Retro Logic with John. So that is on YouTube, Spotify, most places that you can pick up.
It's everywhere. And you can get all the links at blockfortretro.com, which is the brand of my game store, which I also started. I just needed my Monday nights to be a little bit freer so I could do some personal projects. And y'all have just kicked butt with the podcast since then, and I really, really love what y'all keep doing with it. I listen every week, and just it's awesome.
Thanks, man.
So I have picked up the first 2 episodes of your podcast. I kind of only get a 15-minute slot in the car, so like if I keep listening to 15-minute slots.
They get better as you go. The first 2 are the worst 2. So
honestly, I like the first one. The first one was really cool. You guys have got really good chemistry. So
awesome. John's really great.
Yeah. So
thanks, John.
I went. No, it's cool. I went on a big walk yesterday, so I managed to catch this episode, like the back end of episode 1 and most of episode 2 yesterday. So I went walking for like 2 hours yesterday. But yeah, so
awesome.
Sorry about that, Nick. So what have you been playing, Nick?
No, you're fine, man. Yeah. So actually, I have the kind of old thing, right? The new thing's like the PS5. It's like this is no, I'm just kidding. I picked up the Xbox Series S. Got a pre-order of it for however long ago. Picked it up this last week, and I've been loving it. I think if you own an Xbox One, like I get it. Like you hear it on Twitter all the time. Like, well, there's no exclusives. There really isn't. It is very weird. Like I picked this thing up and I thought I'll play something on stream that'll like really catch people's attention for Extra Life. Yeah, there's like nothing there. Like there's nothing that you can only play on this new console that you can't play anywhere else. It's so strange, so foreign to me as like a Nintendo guy, you know? Because there's always the thing, like either it's a new Mario, a new Zelda, a new something that you're like, I gotta pick up the Nintendo thing to play that.
Wii Sports, 1-2 Switch, you know?
Yeah. I totally didn't listen to you. I was just like, yeah, sure. Oh, wait, no.
Nintendo Land, something like, you know, Sim City, Pilot Wings.
Have you not picked up Gears 5? I think that's the last.
Isn't that a tactics game though? Is that the?
No, it's a third-person cover. No, it's a third-person cover shooter, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't played Gears of War since Gears of War 2, but just because it kind of like the first one was amazing because it was the first of its kind. The second one was okay, and then I didn't like the story and I didn't like the gameplay in terms of you kind of right with it being a tactic thing, but you're like progressively pushing against an enemy threat all the time, but you can move around as much as you like. It's not turn-based. It's kind of third-person shooter.
Okay, so Gears of War 5 came out in September of last year, but it is for the Xbox Series S and X. Gears Tactics hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay. Is that it? Okay, sorry.
It's a different thing.
All right.
Oh no,
right.
Sorry. It came out in April, but it is coming to the Xbox. I don't know. This is confusing. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. So what I did pick up for the Series S real quick, Jedi Fallen Order, which is obviously an older game, but I fell in love with being a Jedi in
Fallen Older.
It's the return
y'all
of the...
miss me so much.
Yeah,
don't you?
It's the return of the Jedi in the Elder Homes. And so I fell in love with being a Jedi in the GameCube game, which is Jedi Outcast. Is that what you said it was, Dan? I can't even remember anymore. Is it out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I fell in love with being a Jedi in that game. I'm not even really all that much of a Star Wars guy, but it's just really fun having all those powers and being able to be and Fallen Order is a really good game. I'm about 4 or 5 hours in, and I've really enjoyed it. And then I also picked up Fable 3. I haven't played that one yet, though. I'm only playing games on Game Pass, FYI. So if anybody's like, you should play Valhalla, I would love to play Valhalla. Like, that game looks freaking amazing, but it's not on Game Pass. So if it ever is, I will pick it up, and maybe I might splurge and spend $60 on it, because I have watched pretty much every Viking show on Netflix, and I absolutely love the Viking Age. So I may have to just pick that one up. So anyways, to get on to Nintendo stuff, played a couple different games, games that dads might want to have on their radar. Cake Bash, very fun, both local and online, actually. That was a surprise to me. I didn't realize it had both. But you play as a dessert, and it's kind of think of Mario Party, but instead of like a board that you walk around and you do stuff like that, you play 2 battles, where you each are a dessert. It can be 4 players, and you can play any kind of like what would basically be a mini game. You're playing against each other so like one is there are these sweets that drop on the ground, and your dessert has to run over them and pick up as many as you can. But crazy things will happen, like birds will come down and peck at you, peck the sweet pieces off of you while you're playing, and then you can your players you're playing against can pick up a lollipop and just like smash you with it and knock all the sweets off of your character. And you can do like super punches. It's a ton of fun. It's crazy chaos. It can be I haven't tried the online yet, but I've tried the local co-op. This game's coming out soon. It's not out yet. I'm doing a review for it. So, but I played a little bit of it on our stream, and it is a ton of fun. Great for kids. It's one of the games that my kids played on Extra Life stream, and then immediately the next day they were like, "Can we play Cake Bash again?" And so it's a really, really good game. Had a ton of fun with that. Then also another one, Paw Patrol came out last Friday. Adventures of something Bay. Sorry.
Adventures of Adventure Bay.
Adventures of Adventure
It's called
Bay.
Adventure Bay, so I don't know what. Trouble in Adventure Bay, maybe? I don't know.
The Adventures of Adventure Bay. I have no idea. Anyways, I played that. That game my kids did have fun with, but it was ruined by the fact that there is a bug where if there is voiceover or any dialogue in the game and you press the plus button, it kicks you immediately out of the game. Like just immediately, like soft reset all the way back to the home screen. You have to totally start it all over again. And I was totally confused because so you're sitting there on the couch with one controller and you have another child who says like, "Daddy, you said I could play this game. And I'm like, "Sure, yeah, you can. You just got to press the plus button right now." And oh, no, okay. So then like we start it back up. We wait for the screen. And immediately the 4-year-old's like, "Dad, you said I could play this game too." "Okay, yeah, we just pressed the Oh, okay, apparently not. So you have to wait for the dialogue to finish before you can hit the plus button to get another player in. I'm sure that will be patched out. Outright Games does a great job. Like I've reviewed many of their games and they're all pretty good. But I'm sure that will find its way out of the game. But at the moment, it was super annoying. And I think like the kids wanted nothing to do with that game after we played it. They liked it after we figured that out. But we did get kicked out once again when my daughter hit the plus button and there was dialogue up and it kicked us out and we were like, "Oh, okay." So I think that was the end of that game. They were done. Didn't want anything to do with it. So last game I'll talk about real quick. I played a ton on the stream. Sakuna Rice and Ruin. I was very interested in this game. It's a 2D platformer kind of combat game when you're in the exploration and the combat mode. And then when you're planting rice, it's in a 3D mode. And the rice planting is very, very intricate, and they kind of just throw you into the village and they're like, "Plant rice." And you can talk to people and they'll give you some tips, but they don't really like lay it out like what you're doing. So I'm very confused, to be honest. on how this rice planting is going. Actually, I thought I would enjoy the rice planting more than the combat, but I actually really enjoy the combat. It's actually really good. It's right on the edge of button mashy, but there's still enough to do in it that you really feel like you can control it and you have some real power there. So yeah, that's what I've been playing right there.
It's just very quickly, we were talking about was it Immortals coming out?
Yeah.
Is that a December release?
Mm-hmm. December 2nd, I believe.
Is it? Oh, wow, that's fast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was last night trying to figure out, and I think it's one of our questions a bit later on, but the wife was asking me what I want for my birthday and Christmas. So, because like my birthday is 8 days before Christmas. So I might drop that's one of the things that I want.
Nice. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. The one thing I did want to say about the Xbox, you had mentioned the controller.
December 3rd.
December 3rd. I knew it was the beginning of September or December.
Everything's coming out too fast. Slow down.
Well, that's why I'm not real interested in Age of Calamity. I'm not going to finish it. I am too drawn to Immortals. And once that comes out, I'm going to drop Age of Calamity. I know it.
I played Hyrule Warriors and it was just bedlam. I couldn't get on with it, so I'm skipping Calamity altogether.
Hyrule Warrior. Look, the Warriors games are a very, very pretty button masher. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want that, don't play Age of Calamity. That's my disclaimer.
I totally agree with that. I played the demo and people said they loved Impa. I thought she was horrible to play as. I love playing as Zelda. It felt like you could chain his stuff together and you could kind of like the bombs and then the arrows and it all kind of worked. Impa, I had no idea what I was doing. There was like 4 of her at one point and then there was only 1 of her and I was like, I don't understand what I'm doing at all with her. Dude, I didn't get it.
When you learn how to use Impa, there's like 8 of her on the field and they're just following you, mowing guys down. That is very satisfying.
Yeah. See, I don't understand how to use her yet.
Just you're not going to buy the game anyway, but you just got to learn how to do it.
Well, actually, I am. I struck a deal with a friend. We're going to split it. And that way, I don't feel like I'm losing out as much if I don't actually play it very much. So I am going to buy it, but yeah, we'll see. But anyways, real quick, the Xbox Series S controller. It's a nice controller. It's got great grips. I really do like it. I would not say it's as good as the Pro controller. Just the way that they have positioned the grips, it makes your fingers all go to the center of the controller, and it doesn't feel like it pushes your thumbs towards the joysticks. So I just don't like how it. So the best way I can say it is with the Pro, I feel like I have to reach for the plus and minus buttons, but I'm okay with that because I don't use them very often. In this one, I feel like all my hands are towards the middle buttons, which I don't use very often. So that's my one complaint. And it's really nitpicky, but it is the one thing I noticed when I picked it up. I was like, yeah, I don't like the way that's positioned as much as the Pro. So anyways.
I'm over here like I'm picking up my Steam controller, putting it down, picking up my Switch Pro controller, putting it down, and they both feel great. I wish I had an Xbox controller to does it feel like an Xbox 360 controller? Because I have one of those laying around.
Wow, you're asking me to really remember back too far from my brain.
Oh, sorry, Nick. I forgot you can't remember.
Yeah, goldfish brain over here, man.
They made the Xbox 360 controller was pretty big and quite heavy. So the Xbox One controller, they shrunk it down a little bit and made it lighter, which I don't like. So I've got the Elite One controller for the Xbox, and that thing is beautiful to play with. So if it continues to be an issue, drop some money on the Elite 2 and you will not be upset, especially as you can remap all the buttons. Fantastic piece of kit.
Yeah,
it only costs about as much as your console. So
yeah,
I think it's like £100 for a controller, so it's not much.
Yeah, it's like 150, I think, 130 or something.
I think the Series 2 is like 180 even.
Oh, geez.
Oh, wow. Get the Series 1. I've got the Series 1.
That's a Switch Lite. Yeah, Series 1.
So if I buy that and an expansion port or an expansion card for my Series S, I'm $400 in already. So that'll be fun. So there you go. All right. Hey, well, that's a good way to end this. And why don't we talk about Animal Crossing for a little bit?
What's Animal Crossing?
All right, Isabel's morning announcements. Let me tell you, there isn't a ton to talk about since the last time we had a podcast here. We had a good conversation with Andrew from Nintendo Pals about when this update would happen. And I think we all thought it would happen when the Thanksgiving update, that's what I'm talking about, by the way, would happen. And I think we all thought it would happen by now. And guess what? It has not. So that's something right there. One thing I will say is this whole mushroom business. Have you got any DIYs yet, Sean, for the mushroom season?
No, not one.
Not
for lack of trying.
Yeah.
But I haven't got a single one. I think I've picked up maybe 3 or 4 mushrooms. I think I said not had much time since our podcast. So
yeah, no, I got you. I will tell you, I have played a lot in the last 2 weeks. I mean, I've been trying to finish the revamp of my island before December hits, so it can be done and I can clean up my Critterpedia and really kind of be on the cusp of just playing a little bit here and there in Animal Crossing. And by me playing a lot, like probably like my wife and I start watching TV. We'll put in 2 or 3 hours into TV shows. I've been putting those while we've been watching. I've been playing, doing stuff on my island. And I think I got 5. I will say I did get the mushroom lamp, and they are as cool as I thought they would be. I will say that. I mean, they're just really fun. I made a little mushroom forest, put the lamps all around. I really love them. They're great. But man, I really feel for people who aren't putting, what am I putting? Probably 15 hours into Animal Crossing a week? Come on, man. Like Nintendo needs to do something with that for people. It's not fair to ask people to like look around for a balloon for 15 hours a week and hope they find one. I don't know. That whole process of now it's the mushroom season, you'll randomly find DIYs float across your island. Like, I don't know. There's just not time for that. And I understand why people are super frustrated. Like, I've found a good bit of them. And the one I found, and Ebusel talked about this and he's right. The one I found was a mushroom wreath, which everybody got from Isabel when the mushroom season started. Like, don't float across my island in a recipe that you already gave everybody who played the game. I just don't understand.
Yeah, they shouldn't be double dipping with DIYs. It should be once you've got that DIY, it shouldn't be available to then get again.
Yeah.
Especially with time-limited stuff like this. Fair enough, just normal DIYs that you pick up because you can swap and change. That gives the whole social aspect. But double-dipping on time-limited ones, I don't think they should do.
Yeah. So. I think they need to add seasonal DIYs like they did for Halloween. They need to add seasonal DIYs to the villagers. Yeah. Because that's at least more fair. You're not just running around looking for a balloon. You know that you'll have a villager or 2 a day who's making a recipe. And so you can go to them and see what kind of recipe you'll get. And for people who, can't or don't want to because they have other things they want to do or whatever, play Animal Crossing as much as I play Animal Crossing. I think that's a more fair, I don't know if that's the right way to say that. That's a fairer way to do it. Because I get the frustration. I really do. Anyways, with that said, I've been putting all this time in, and guess what, Sean? 5 stars are back, baby. They are back. I got my first, the Lily of the Valley, whatever they call that. Yeah. I got my first one this week after my revamp, and I think I dipped all the way down to 2 stars at the peak of like destruction of my island. So they're back. I'm very excited about that. Now I can maybe start getting more super rare mushrooms, which, by the way, I've still found no use for. I don't have a DIY recipe that uses. I was like, I'm gonna get 5 stars because Sean said I can get more of these. Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them.
it's just, yeah, they've made it difficult, the mushroom one. I think it's kind of hit for the players, the super fans of the game that are still really in it now. I think they're kind of getting into the realm of, it's nearly 12 months old now is the game. Like, what, 5 months away from it being 12 months old?
Yeah.
So the people that are playing it now are like super fans like yourself. I still go in maybe once or twice a week. I don't play it every day like I was when we first started this little voyage. But when there's that calm between events, it kind of, and not having time, it kind of gets pushed backwards a little bit. So, yeah, I'll probably take a bit of time. Today is going to be the first day in a while where it's just me and Logan. So he's got loads of new stuff to play with because it was his birthday on Sunday.
Nice.
So I'm going to leave him playing with his train track and stuff like that, and I'll probably launch in and have a good like hour or two while he's doing that.
I was going to ask you, what's his just like total like squirrel moment? What was his favorite thing that he got?
Out of everything that he got, is the favorite thing he's got is, and I'm assuming Dan, maybe more than you, Nick, will know of Blippi.
Nope.
Blippi.
No,
what is
not.
What is?
You don't know who Blippi is. You guys are from America and you don't know who Blippi is.
I'm on a long
Blippi.
squirrel track, but we're gonna keep going. What's Blippi?
Right. Let's look it up.
He's a YouTube creator. I think his backstory is that he's ex-military, and he had a nephew that was like into YouTube videos about people, like educational YouTube videos about colors, different vehicles, different animals, and he was really upset with like how poor quality and the content of some of these things. So this guy started his own YouTube channel called Blippi, and he made this character up. And honestly,
This guy has 200 million views on this video, 6 million subscribers.
I'm one of them. But he's a net worth of like $25 million or something daft like that. He's insanely like successful in what he's done. But he's got all his own branded merchandise and toys out, and he got like a Blippi recycling truck, and Logan loves it. Everything goes in this recycling truck. So, and he got quite a lot of Hot Wheels monster trucks. So, and my mum and dad bought him a big truck to put all his Hot Wheels monster trucks in. So the Blippi recycling truck and his Hot Wheels truck are his two favorite things. So.
This dude's only been at it for 5 years.
There you go. We can do it. We got this. You got this. I don't got this. You got this, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, back on track. That was a squirrel. That squirrel track went. That was long rabbit trail. Anyways, lots of animal metaphors that I mixed up there. So congratulations. All right. So maple leaves are out today. By the way,
are these the same as this is? I'm assuming because I quickly looked at the like what to expect video that Nintendo dropped on YouTube. I'm assuming it's going to be a bit like the cherry blossom. So we're going to get maple leaf piles, maple leaf based recipes, and they're going to just be floated around and.
You are 100% right. That's exactly it. Don't try to get the half leaves, as I did. As I spent about a minute trying to get this little half leaf. They are not catchable. You have to find the whole leaf. Okay, that's the only ones you can catch. I came out of my house. I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool, maple leaves!" So I'm like, "Net down, no. Swing the net, no." I was like, "How do I keep missing this?" It was so dumb. And then finally, like one floated in front of me that was a whole leaf, and I was like, "That's probably the ones I can catch." And sure enough, that was the ones I could catch. So,
very quick question: have you finished your Critterpedia?
No, December.
Okay.
I need the dung beetle because all dung beetles, they move snowballs. That's well known.
Yow.
A snowball beetle.
No, it's a dung beetle that moves snowballs. It's a confused dung beetle, Sean. That's all.
What kind of snow are we talking about here?
Not yellow snow.
It's barely white snow. turd snow? I don't know. Don't ask me. No, I need the dung beetle. That sounds weird when you say it like that. I need to catch the dung beetle, and then I need to catch the stringfish, and then I am done with fish and beetles. Do
you reckon that's when you're going to get the golden net?
Yeah, baby, I'm going to get the golden net. Oh, I'm also working towards the axe. I never got it, so I'm slowly...
Well, I've got a golden axe.
I know you do, because you spent, like, what, a whole day crafting flimsy axes?
Yeah.
That was impressive, man. That was good work. I mean, I feel like I should be there by now, but I apparently am not, so there's no, counter.
The stone axe that doesn't chop down the tree. So I just made a bunch of those and just stood next to the one tree outside my house and just whack, 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 snap.
And that is how Sean broke his Pro Controller. Yeah, no, I haven't done it yet, but I'm still working towards it. All right, so really that's it. Like that is Animal Crossing updates at the moment. I do want to ask when it is the 17th as we record right now. When do we think that this update is going to come out? FYI, next week, Thursday, is Thanksgiving. So
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
the
money answer right there. The money answer right there is tomorrow. You're totally right.
Yeah.
All right, you can't guess tomorrow, Sean. What do you think?
Let's see. So next Thursday's Thanksgiving, is it?
Yeah.
No. It could be this Friday.
Okay.
Give people the weekend to play the update ahead of Thanksgiving. So
this update has to... Well, I don't want to say that because it's probably going to be gigantic. All right. Well, I was going to say it, so I'll say it. I was going to say this update has to be pretty small, but it's probably going to come out and totally change the game just because I said that. All right. Well, I'll say Thursday because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it would drop on a Thursday. So we'll see. We'll see. We were all wrong last time, so let's see what we do this time.
So while we're still in our little Animal Crossing segment, on the Discord, I just want to shout out to Hey It's Chad. He said that he's got a couple of ideas for the upcoming months, especially with all the different events that we've had and different DIY cards and extra bits and pieces, especially in the Halloween one for jack-o'-lantern stuff. He's thinking about doing a catalog party again, but he's called it this time. It's going to be a round robin where you can come and drop things off you would like to share, and you can go back later to pick up your stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. I think I will try and look over the next week or two of trying to set up an area like I had before, and maybe open up the gates one evening and just let everybody come in, drop a few things, and in and out and visit. So I can leave that open. I can leave it when it's docked and charging. I could leave my island open for a while, just drop the DIY dodo code and just let people come and go as they please. So keep your ears peeled and your eyes peeled to the Discord for that, and I will try and get that organized as soon as possible.
That's really cool. Yeah, I like that idea. That's awesome. I did see that. Totally agree. Okay, so the winter update dropped, as always, right after our podcast, Sean. You know how it works. It starts...
It's typical.
I know, right? That's how it always works. Starts November 19th. And the first thing they jumped into is a little bit of Turkey Day love. Coming on the 26th of November. Sorry, you Canadians. We know that that's not technically your Thanksgiving, but it's ours. When's your Thanksgiving, Sean? Do you have Thanksgiving?
No, the UK doesn't have Thanksgiving. So we kind of we go straight from Halloween to Christmas. There's no in between. There's nothing there. So it'd be nice to be able to share it for Animal Crossing. So
sure, yeah, that's cool. Well, now you get a Thanksgiving, so congratulations. I think we had that conversation once before, so sorry.
Yeah, I think it was when Andrew was on. So
yeah. Sorry about that. So Franklin will arrive and host a gathering in the plaza. Now Franklin's been around before. I don't know. I can't remember if he was in the GameCube one. I know he was in City Folk. I know that for sure. I remember him in that one.
Yeah, I didn't play enough of New Leaf to see if he was in there. So, but I'm assuming that with how multiplayer-esque New Leaf was, that was probably involved. So
yeah. The players can help Franklin collect ingredients. We saw him hand a pumpkin to him.
Yeah, finally a use for all those pumpkins.
I know it's totally true. There's so many people in our Discord that have like hundreds of pumpkin plants and like wondering what to do with them and where to put them and all that jazz.
I wonder if we'll be able to use the mushrooms that are growing.
That's a good question. Yeah.
It then brings into the whole farming and harvesting thing.
So my next question to this was: now are the pumpkins going to die after Thursday? Do you think? Like this is like I had this question after October, and it was like, nope, they're still around. And so now I'm wondering, are they going to die now?
Possibly, or it might. This might be the start, like we've said before, of something where you'll be able to make meals and give them to villagers. Like you can wrap up items that you bought and picked up and stuff, and you can give them to villagers, and we're going to be able to then sort of like share stuff like that with the villagers. Not so much giving them like a benefit from that, but just because it's a nice thing to do.
That's true, yeah. And Animal Crossing is all about being nice. So yeah, that would be kind of cool if Franklin was the one to teach you how to cook and brought that mechanism in. I think that's probably a reach, but it would be cool if that's how they did it. But yeah, I'll be interested to see. This isn't the normal Harvest Festival, obviously, because pumpkins are new in New Horizons that I remember there being. There was I was trying to remember how that Harvest Festival went, but they're changing it up, and I'm okay with that. That sounds cool. I mean, I have no problem with a little change up here. But you can't buy pumpkins anymore, as I recall it. I believe I looked in the Nook store. You can't buy pumpkin starts anymore. That's what I meant to say. No,
you can't even get them from Leaf. So
okay, I didn't think so.
I mean, so what you've got is what you've got.
Yeah. So I mean, seriously, if you were like, I don't need these pumpkins anymore, Nintendo just really puts you in a tight spot, man. I mean, to not bring out this information when you had when you had the pumpkins available, or so. I wonder if there's anybody who has done that, who was like, I don't need these pumpkins anymore. Halloween's over, and he just like sold them all or got rid of them.
Yeah, most people I think have still kept them on the island and kind of featured, like made like a farmyard look of it. So especially like on the videos and stuff I've been watching on YouTube and like all the interaction and stuff with people on Instagram and different accounts on there that like I speak between a couple of people, and their islands, they've done the same. They've kind of made a big thing of it. So
and I have too. I've made a farm on my island. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, Animal Crossing people seem to be hoarders of digital items, so you're probably right. Then you're out of them at all.
Which means they're also really, they're going to be really excited about the other stuff that's come out of the update towards the end as well. So.
Oh, that's for sure. All right. Anything else about Franklin and Turkey Day?
No, not from the video and not from any like literature that I've seen online. I've not really found anything. So it didn't really specify what kind of gifts you'd get as well for helping him and things like that. So it's all going to be new territory and interesting to find out.
Very interesting, that's for sure. All right, and on to Toy Day and Jingle. Santa's coming to town. What'd you think of this?
I loved the section that they showed in the video. I thought it was fantastic. Like when they were panning across the island and then they'd like turn the lights on as they were panning across. I was thinking, oh, this is amazing. I think this could be my favorite time of year on the island. So
I 100% agree. I have the whole like walk in, like the center area of when you walk off the airport. I have yet to do anything with because I didn't really know what I wanted to. And when I saw this, it made me realize I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to be waiting until I am just going to make it like the Christmas square, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not even touching that center island until that time comes. So I'm very excited.
I've got an offset fountain on a high cliff, which when I get a chance over the weekend, I'm going to completely get rid of that. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to have like an opening plaza with a fountain in the middle and like the Christmas trees and stuff. I'm going to do a bit of a thing with that as well.
Oh, that'll be so cool. Yeah, I really, really can't wait to see what other people do for Christmas. Like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited about it a lot. So you shake the trees and you shake the decorated trees and you get ornaments out of them. And we kind of knew this a long time ago. They give us a sneak peek of this, oh man, in the trailer before the game was even out, if you remember.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of like from what I've read in videos that like and other people have talked about it, because like I did a lot of reading about it this morning, and in the evening last night. Throughout the whole of December, you're going to see your island become more and more festive. So I'm assuming it's not going to get to like the 1st of December and there's snow. I think it's going to be a gradual introduction, like
sure,
like autumn has been. So like where the trees have slowly changed color, I think we're slowly going to see. So you might see more and more decorated trees, and give them a shake, and it should like drop, like you say, drop ornaments like Christmas baubles, I believe they were.
Yeah. That will be very cool.
And then like you say, like with the mushrooms, the acorns, the pine cones stuff, it all goes towards you being able to craft seasonal DIYs. So if you want all those really nice lights, you need to go around and shake some trees. So be prepared.
Yeah,
there'll still be wasps, I imagine.
Even in winter, if the flowers are still going to bloom, the wasps are still going to be out. That's how it works in Animal Crossing. And so DIYs, I still wonder if that'll be. I'm sure that's going to be a big issue. If they're all going to come in balloons, or if it's going to be more like Halloween, and people are going to start crafting them.
Yeah, I think hopefully they'll go along the same lines as the Halloween. You're going to find your villagers crafting them. So
yeah, I hope so.
Make sure you're checking in on them. The other nice thing that I like is the seasonal clothing coming from Abel's, because I seem to have got to a stagnation period with the clothing side of customizing my character. It's kind of got to a point where I kind of have. So getting the Christmas outfit would be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be, hopefully you can be Santa. That'll be awesome. Have a whole Santa outfit. I love that. So yeah, I want to jump back really quick to Turkey Day, because we had a conversation. We had talked about the rare mushrooms, and yes. I don't know, but I have a feeling that those rare mushrooms, I've yet to see a DIY, as I said, that uses those rare mushrooms. And I have a feeling that those rare mushrooms might come into play in some way with Franklin. So I'm very interested to see if that holds true or not.
Yeah, you might get the gifts you get from him could be more DIY related item. Yeah, so don't go selling them or using them.
Oh, and I did not sell one, but I was interested the other day, actually, last night. I was interested in their price, and it has to be. I just threw it in the box, like clicked on it and seen how the box price went up. So that's only 80%, and it was worth like 13,000 bells at 80%. So whatever that math is, yeah, they're worth some money. So they are a little pricey. So moving on, anything else from Tour Day before I move on?
Yeah, the ability to buy toys from Nook's Cranny.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, how did I totally skip right past that.
So I'm assuming it's going to be like Halloween, that you can only buy one a day. Probably, one person can buy it once a day from Nook's Cranny. So if you've got several people on your island, you can obviously, each one can buy one. And then visiting islands via online or local play. You can probably buy them from there again. So yeah, that all leads up to obviously Jingle, the black-nosed reindeer. They kind of made a big point of calling him a black-nosed reindeer.
I know, my mom thought that was weird too. I was like, you need to go look at the update, and he's like, why a black-nosed reindeer? And I was like, well, he's not red, so apparently they just wanted to point that out. He's not Rudolph.
But yeah, he obviously arrives on the 24th to help deliver all the presents. So, and again, you'll probably get more your higher end DIY cards from him for helping him do his duties.
Yeah, I assume you're right. It's going to have pretty much the same format of Halloween.
Yeah,
which I'm okay with. I had a lot of fun with Halloween. I thought that was great. So I'm down for that. And this means I'm gonna have to start island hopping again. I'm kind of taking the month of November off, but I'm gonna have to get back with Noah and my mom and start hopping around, making sure I have enough presents. So.
Yeah.
But if it's anything like Halloween, I ended up having a crud ton of candy left over when it was all said and done. I was like, oh, okay, I got more than enough here. So,
yeah, I'm assuming that they're not going to make it difficult for people who don't have anyone to play with. So,
yeah,
if you go on every day in December up until the 24th, you're going to have 24 gifts to give out, and you only have 9 villages on the island. So, Edge of It should probably have everything pretty quick with just 24 presents or gifts.
Yeah, and that's the way it was at Halloween. I mean, you could hop in and hop out, and if you gave it 15, 20 minutes, you were pretty good. I mean, you could probably have had everything by then, which is okay. I mean, I can appreciate that. They can't expect you to put hours into it on a holiday, you know. I mean, if you can squeeze out 20 minutes on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, that's asking quite a bit when you're usually with family in a non-pandemic year. So new hip reactions. Basically, this is a new like Nook Miles pack, right? There's
2 of one of them being the reactions, the other one being hairstyles. So,
what'd you think of the reactions?
I like them. I think everybody in the Discord seems to love the ability to be able to sit down somewhere.
Yes.
So, it brings that whole. If they've now shown that you can sit down on the floor, are they going to then be able to help you interact with different things? So like sitting down on a bike or I don't know.
Yeah.
Which we talked about with Andros.
Cool. That would be really cool. A wave goodbye.
I can't believe it's taken so long for that to arrive, because you've got the one where you just kind of raise your hand to say hello, like the greeting one. So why is it taking so long to get the?
That's a fair point. I usually just use them both. I use that one reaction for both. I'm like, hey, and then I'm like, bye, and do the same thing. But that's cool. I'm all good with the wave goodbye. Take a picture. You're a fan of this one, I take it.
Yeah, I think it's quite funny. They haven't really used the little Nook phone that you get for many things. So having it as a reaction where you get it out and the little flash that goes up, I think it's going to be quite funny, especially in like social interaction. So like we've got, I think Chad's been mentioning it on Discord about the catalog party. I think it's going to be pretty good for like just for messing around on there, really. But,
yeah, for sure.
But is it also like for interacting with your villagers? Is it going to make them do something different?
That's a good question. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. This is Chip's reaction, or the thing he does when you like hand him something and he makes a.
Oh yeah, the little beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a sniff reaction. A workout. You just stop me. I'm firing these out. If you got something to say, you just
the workout one. It looks pretty cool, especially if you've got like a home gym, because there was plenty of gym equipment to start.
Yeah, that's true. So that's gonna be cool. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Same again with the yoga.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
What is the Here You Go? I don't remember.
It's where they were all kind of. It was shown that they were all sat around the table with the Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh yeah, and he's like, and he like puts out his hands, kind of. Yeah.
There's like little bubbles around. So
yeah. Excited dance and ta-da.
Yeah, ta-da again. It's just like kind of a flashy, like here you go type thing. But the excited dance is quite cool. It's like they stand on the spot and they're wiggling around and
it'll be man. There's a lot of reactions at this point now. I mean, actually,
37. I think with the Halloween ones, so chuck this other 6 in, we're into like the mid 40s.
Yeah, that's
So, which I like that you can have your wheel, and then if you press Y, you can then access all of them and just pick one. So they've kind of made a quick shortcut to all of them, which is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think I totally agree. I think the way they've done it is about as good as you can with as many choices as you have given a controller, basically. I mean, it's not easy to control multiple options on a console.
No.
You know, Sean, I'm going to let you, if we're done with reactions, I'm going to let you take this one because I feel you are way more excited about this particular announcement than I am. So you should start this baby off.
Yeah, the hairstyles. I'm so glad they finally chucked in a bald option because I have no hair. I shave it off all the time just because I've got to be clean shaven with work, and I am unfortunately lacking hair, which started like in my early 20s. So by now nearly 34, it's completely gone through the middle. And if I left it, I'd look like some kind of mad scientist. It'd just grow out the side of my head, but nowhere else. So I'm really good they've got this because normally, like, my outfit choice is a hat, which there isn't many good hats for the male. There's loads of like nice, like,
it's true,
flamboyant style ones for girls and stuff. But for the guys, we kind of like we've got caps and that's it. So I'm quite excited for this. It means I can finally have the no hair on the head and the beard because I've got the goatee beard thing that goes on. So
good for you. I'm glad they got they've got your personified down now.
So, but then the other ones we've got like it looks a little bit like cornrows, so it's like braided from front to back. We've got the short back and sides because I think they're going with like the hip and kind of looking stylish and sort of the hipster kind of look. And then for the girls, there's a double bun, like ponytail thing. The afro, which I think is quite cool.
It's cool, yeah.
Quite funny. And then like they show it with grey hair, so it looks like
it looks like the grandma look. I'm not gonna lie. I'll take the heat for this one, Sean. It's the grandma look.
Yeah.
People can yell at me if they're like, "I'm not a grandma and I want that." That's fine. I get it. But the way they show it, I was immediately like, "Oh, they got a grandma look." Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I was the same. I think that's why they kind of stuck it with it being grey. So. But yeah, it's good to have some. It's nice that they even now still nearly like what are we 10 months old? Not 10 months old game. About 9-10 month old.
Yeah.
That they're still finding different customization options that we can use. So.
I think the more the better. I mean, everybody likes to have their own way and have it look like them or how they want to look, and so the more you get to add, the better for everybody. It doesn't hurt. So I think that's great. I love it. I am super excited. Literally, I squealed on this one. I'm not going to lie. Like a little girl, I squealed at this one. I have been paring down my storage, trying to figure out what items I need to keep and what items I don't, because I have some that I can just get off of the catalog that I thought I'd keep, but I was like, well, I can buy those again. It's not a big deal. So I've been trying to, so I'm at 1,550 items. Because I've been deleting some that I knew or selling some that I knew I didn't need. And Nintendo comes out and says, we are going to expand your storage to 2,400. And I could not have been more excited. The only way I could have been more excited if they had said, and we're also expanding your design capacity. That's the only thing I really need right now. And I will, if that comes out, you will hear it all the way over the water. You'll know how excited I was. You will hear me. But taking it from 1,600, if you're maxed, I don't know. It's interesting to me. Will this increase the increments? Like, so when you start, will you have an increase as well? And then, do you know what I mean? Like, because you didn't start at 1,600. We started at. So I wonder if it'll be like, if it'll increase all the increments to 2,400 or not.
No, I don't think so. It's every time you expanded your home, you got the obviously the storage expansion, which made sense because you'd have other rooms. So I think they'll stay the same. I think this is just going to be another thing that like a paid option now that your home is fully custom, like not fully customized, but you've fully expanded your home. So you've spent a lot of money with Tom Nook. So why not spend a little bit more? I'm a little bit sad that they haven't kind of included like another room.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
because
would
like
be
the
nice.
basement area, yeah, the basement area is huge, but I'd like another room off that basement area. That'd be
Yeah.
like the absolute dream. But yeah, I don't know if I've nearly filled it. So, but you've put a lot more time into this than I have.
They just
So,
give you like the $10 million option. You get. I mean, that room would have to be ridiculously expensive if they expanded it.
yeah.
Nook would be like, you have another option, and it only costs you 10 million bells, and you get one more room and 800 more slots.
So yeah, if you did that, I'd definitely like reinvest in the turnip exchange.
I knew you were going to say that. I was going to say Sean would start the turnip market again. You'll be all in the exchanges once more. I knew it. You're like, well, I can do it. Give me a couple weeks. It's all I need. So yeah, I was really excited about this one, but that's really all you can say about that. Sean, why don't you take this one, because you've done a much better job. We started this thing, I'm going to be honest, and I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that, and I didn't know you could do that. So you've done some digging. So tell us about save transfers.
Yeah. So I looked at obviously the small print when it said go to the website, blah blah blah, to kind of see. So I did that, and then it takes you to another website from the actual official Nintendo webpage, and goes into some good detail about it. So basically, they're giving you two options now with the save transfer. You can either do an entire island transfer. So, say you buy a new Switch, so the Switch Pro comes out. You want to move to a Switch Lite because you've had a day one Switch and it's kind of seen better days, and for whatever reason you get a new system. You can transfer the entire save, your entire island, everybody on that island as well, just in case you've got other people on the island. Everybody can go and you can transfer it to another system. So it comes away from the backup just in case something breaks and happens. You can move in your entire everything, which is it's a free tool from the Nintendo eShop that you need to download to do that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not entirely sure what that entails because I've not looked that far into it, but it's just it's a separate thing. So I'm assuming your save data will go to that. It's stored somewhere on a cloud. So then you can then download the tool again on the new system and download everything, and it incorporates it into the save on that system. Or, which I think most people are going to be more excited about, because I think we've got a couple of people in our Discord community that are getting fed up of the not being the island representative. So you can have a single resident transfer. So if you're not the island rep, so like Noah, for you, he's the island rep on the other system that you've got, and your daughter Ariel's not.
Yeah.
She then could maybe come to your island as a guest, not a guest, but another villager on your island.
Yeah, another villager.
And leave and basically leave Noah to his own devices on that island. And all her belongings, house, like to the upgrade that it's at, everything comes with you. And I don't think
go ahead, sorry.
I don't think that needs the eShop tool for that. I think you just need to have access to both systems and both games at the same time to do that.
Now, I did think about this because we were talking offline. I told you that I would love this. Like, I am very excited. Noah, do you need Nintendo Switch Online to do that single resident transfer?
Possibly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wonder. I was like, she doesn't have that.
Very quickly, just have a look.
So, yeah, well, Sean's looking it up. I'll explain my situation. I mean, Sean did a pretty good job. We have two Switches, two islands. I have my own island, and then my son and daughter are on their separate island. My son has kind of stopped playing Animal Crossing, really, and my daughter still likes to play, but she needs help. And so if I could move just her over to my island, and she doesn't have a Nintendo Switch Online account, so I can't really communicate with her island to island because of that. So if I could move just her stuff over to my island, then that would be great. And then I could kind of help her. I could give her bells, and I could kind of give her extra stuff and help her kind of see how cool Animal Crossing was and give her the help she needs. So if that's something you can do, man, I just think that's awesome.
I can't see anything anywhere saying that. I've gone back to the original webpage and to the other webpage that I was viewing. There's no like asterisks or like footnotes or small print saying that they have to have it, but that doesn't mean they don't have to. It just means that they haven't said it.
Yeah, for sure.
But on the single resident transfer, it does say that all island progress and animal neighbors will remain on the original Switch system. So that means that once like Ariel had moved from Noah's system to your system, you'd then have to go in as the island rep and basically remove all trace of Ariel on Noah's island. Or she could play on both, but she'd like the progress wouldn't be shared across the two systems, so she could do something different on one island to a different island. It doesn't kind of share it that way. Once you've done that transfer, you've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think Animal Crossing was great when it came out, but as these updates come out every time, it just more and more you're just like, oh, it just gets cooler and cooler. Like it's just, you can really see the full game. And I'm sure they were thinking, we're not really, I wonder if they wanted to do these updates like this, or if they were just behind in development and didn't want to have to push it out anymore and decided to do it like this. And if either way, I'm good both ways, basically, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that when the game came out, we were really worried about. We were like,
yeah, for sure.
It's actually a full discussion point, and like
the first many times. Yeah, I was okay with the backup, but I was a little nervous because it was like, well, you got to call Nintendo and blah blah blah, and that I thought that was a little crazy. But yeah, I'm very happy now.
Yeah, so am I, because we've got the Switch. Obviously, Lindsay's on the Switch Lite. I'm on the Switch, and we're possibly looking at getting the youngest daughter a Switch. So, and she started a save on Lindsay's. So, like, we wouldn't want. And she's got a save at her mum's house on her own Switch at her mum's. So she could bring that round. She could do a single person transfer or an entire island transfer, depending on which way she wanted to do it. But I'd probably advise her to do a single resident, so she could then start afresh on a new island with everything that she's already got from her original system at her mum's, and then she can, like, she's not lost all that time and that effort, but she can then play it two different ways. So she can do what she wants when she's at her mum's. She can do what she wants when she's here.
Yeah, that'll be great. It's just a lot of cool things that can happen with that.
Yeah.
So there's a Dream Island update too. This is one that a lot of people in Discord have been really wanting. You can now visit random islands in dreams. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to hype this up, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't do a lot of Dream Islands. So do you do a lot of them?
No, and for the reason that if I want to go have a look at your island, I'll wait until you're on and be like, hey, do you want to open the gates? I'll pop across. So visiting random ones means it's good. You can go and have a look at how people customize things, and like, because it's always you'll get a set of items and you'll use them a certain way. Somebody else will get a set of items and they'll be like, they seem to have more imagination where they want to put them, how they want to make them interact, and so. Yeah, it's something I'll probably do if, like you say, I've done all my daily stuff and I've got a bit of time. I'll probably I'd go for that and have a look around, and because I've still got big areas of my island that I need to do stuff with.
Sure. Yeah. So that'll be cool. Well, why don't you take this one? You know more about it than I do.
Well, I didn't play Pocket Camp, so but because it's the third year of Pocket Camp, I believe. I think it's been around for 3 years, so it's the 3rd year anniversary for that. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp as a smartphone game. They're kind of doing a collab, so you can get a smartphone model featuring. I'm assuming it's the design for Pocket Camp, either on the back or on the screen. Basically, just something to put in your house, kind of basically to celebrate the anniversary of Pocket Camp.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I played Pocket Camp for about a year, and then I got burnt out on it. Just to be honest, it was a little too I wouldn't say. I mean, yeah, a year's about as long as I play any mobile game, quite frankly. So, I mean, I really did like it, but it was pretty fetch questy. So, I at some point I was like, I'm done. Also, the point I stopped playing when we got the news that Animal Crossing had been pushed to 2020, and I think that kind of just like deflated my bubble, and I was like, oh. And so I don't think I ever really picked it up after that. That E3 announcement where it was like, look at all this cool stuff, and by the way, it's been pushed. I do have them linked. I got the I can't think of the motor, the oil. There's a shirt from those penguins. There's like these 3 penguin mechanics. So I do have the application linked so that I can get the special things like that shirt that I can.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say, is that to obviously get that, you have to make sure that the Nintendo account that you use Pocket Camp for is the same one that you use for Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah. So definitely do that if you have it.
I played Pocket Camp a little bit, but kind of after a few weeks, I got fed up of the same fetch this, fetch that style quest. That's not my kind of gameplay. So I still got bored of that.
Yeah, the loot cookies.
I'll probably, yeah. I think I tried to do it in the Splatoon one, and just, yeah.
Yeah,
that was that.
All right, and then to kind of wrap up here, they dropped another expectation that we will have an update in late January. Yes. What do we think is going to come out in late January?
I don't know, because I didn't know the character that they showed. They showed a certain character's face.
Oh, did they really? Man, I'm really horrible at this stuff. I'm not going to lie. I am.
Looked like a flamboyant dancer style jeweled up flamingo face, but she was purple. Nick's now trying to fast forward to the end of the video. Good old skip to the end. I don't know what we can expect. It's a whole new year, so
that's Pave. That's Pave. And they did like a. There was like it's like a celebration of some sort in New Leaf with her. Here, I searched it because I was like, I don't know. I remember the celebration, but I don't remember why or what it was. So it's based off of Mardi Gras in the USA and Carnival, the festive circus season associated with parades and street parties and other entertainment celebrated worldwide. So
that could be quite an interesting. Yeah, they're going to link that with New Year and have like fireworks again, and
yeah, it sure looks that way. I don't. I was trying to remember the celebration that happened, and I can't really remember. But yeah. So that's Pave. It's cool to see that she'll be back. And what I really mean is the only other thing that I need, from an update, like a special little side thing, is more design slots. If I could have more design slots, I would be through the and not the pro slots. I have enough pro slots. I need the other ones that make the paths and all that stuff. That's the ones that
the patterns.
Yeah. That stuff would be great. I have maxed out, and I have more things that I would like to do that I just can't. So, anything else, Sean?
Cool. No, that's it. I mean, it was, for such a short video, there was a lot to talk about. So.
Yeah, as Nintendo does, right? They just kind of add those little things. Like the video's 2 minutes, but if you really look at the background and you look at the extras and all that stuff, it really starts to add up. All we have. All right. Well, let's get going to the dad corner then.
So, welcome to Dad Corner. This episode's topic is epic dad fails, to which I was a bit dubious at first because I didn't know what Nick kind of meant by dad fails. So, like, in a bit of a pre-show, I chucked a couple of things around, and basically we're going to talk about those times when, as a father, you've dropped the ball, or in my case, dropped the child. So I'll elaborate on that. So, when Logan was very young and just kind of grasped the sitting up aspect, I was having a bit of a morning with him while Mum was kind of out doing mum things, and I was getting dressed and getting us both ready, and I kind of got him dressed, and so I sat him on the bed, surrounded him by pillows, did all the responsible dad things, and I was like, oh, amazing. He's like, if he flops backwards, he's going to be fine. If he flops forwards, he's like 5 foot away from the edge of any bed, and any edge of the bed, sorry. So he'll be absolutely fine. So I popped into the ensuite, which the ensuite door in our bedroom is literally at the foot of the bed, so can not see him. So popping my head back and forth, brushing my teeth, and in the 2 minutes it takes me to brush my teeth, this little guy had learned to move. And the last time I went to pop my head round to check him, he was literally just tipping over the edge of the bed, and I caught him by the waist just as he literally his head just touched the floor. And I felt so bad. He screamed so bad, and not from the hitting the floor, because it didn't really hit the floor. He kind of just went dunk. And it's from the shock of the fall and me quickly grabbing him and the sudden start. But he screamed, and it's just at that point, there's Mum comes through the front door with
it's always that way. It's always that
she's
way.
Come flying up the stairs, and she's like, oh, what's going on? What have you done? Toothpaste all over the place because of the fire.
And she conveniently forgets all the times that she's dropped the baby. So
but yeah, so that's probably been my worst. There's lots of things where I've kind of maybe said the wrong thing to the eldest, because she's nearly a teenager, so you've got to be really careful with those kind of children and not say things in front of the friends that can completely embarrass them. As I do, completely go around, tidy the room, get all the stuffed teddies and stuff, and because she still has them at 14, and pile them up nicely. And her fit, she's still got a comforter from when she was a baby. She still has that, and kind of placing that on a pillow, nice and tucking it in, so it looks really nice and cozy. And then forgetting that she's got her friends coming around. So she walks into her bedroom with her friends, and all the stuffed teddies are really nicely organized, where usually she stuffs them in the wardrobe.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, I've got a couple too. And just to be clear, I had a conversation with a guy who is a dad this week, and he was really down on himself for something he had done, and it wasn't anything that any of us hadn't done, but he's a new dad, and so I thought it would be fun to kind of go over with stuff we do, but also to just be hey, listen, we all do things, we all we don't mean to do them. Something happens or whatever, and we just mess up. I mean, we're human. We're humans that are also parents. And so that's what I was trying to tell him. And it made me think, hey, I have this podcast. Why not, if somebody's listening to this who's thinking, man, whatever, I'm just not doing the best or not doing the greatest. We all have those moments where we don't do the best, or we just do something where we're crap, I shouldn't have done that, or that was a mistake, or whatever. So, just hang in there. We're all dads, and we're all doing the best we can. And so just think about that. So mine, the first one that came to mind was, and this happened in front of everybody, which was probably the worst. You were talking about your wife coming in at just the wrong time. My wife was holding, a Norwex party. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's one of those parties where you invite everybody over, and it's these cleaning stuff that you're getting and everything, and people try to treat, you're buying it and all that, whatever. And I was in charge of the children, and I want to say Noah was 3 and Ariel was 6 months or something like that. I don't know, something. It was close to that. And so we were down in the basement where I am right now, playing games or something, and somebody was hey, we need to do this, and I was oh, okay. And so then I was come on, Noah, and I run up the stairs with my son, and we're yeah, whatever, and so I'm doing whatever it is, and it wasn't that long because my wife is immediately where's Ariel? And I was well, probably downstairs where I left her when I shut off the lights. And I was shoot. And so like I run down, and there's my poor daughter, just like, she can sit up at this point, but she can't crawl or anything like that. And so she's just like sitting there like screaming like, "Who you've left me in the dark down here?" And so yeah, I felt like crap. But yeah, that was one of my dad fails for sure.
Yeah, so I've got 2 of these, and for some reason they're both the same. I have 3 kids, but they're both the same child. I don't know what that says about him or me or what, but
was it the middle child?
So the oldest. So I used to work at a church.
You were learning with that one.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's what we'll say. I used to work at a church, and the church was very lenient with all, it was they were very gracious with me. They let me bring the kids to work with me sometimes. The hours were flexible. It was really good. So it was Easter Sunday, and I was taking my son Nathan, my oldest. He's 5 now. He's probably 3 at the time. I'm taking him to Easter Sunday with me early in the morning. And I'm like, oh, we didn't get breakfast, so we stop at McDonald's. We don't go to McDonald's. We don't feed them that kind of food. So it was like a treat for him. And he got apple juice, and he probably drank that apple juice in less than 5 seconds. Like, it was just gone. I gave it to him. It was gone. We pull into, I feel like y'all already know where this is going.
Yeah, we're all dads. We're like,
we pull into the parking lot, and we stop, and he just goes, "What?" all over his church clothes for Sunday, all over the car. I'm just like, oh, yeah, you're never getting McDonald's again, ever. What was I thinking? So that was interesting.
Oh yeah, how did that go? How did that go with mom?
Right.
Well, you should have known.
Well, yeah. I tried to omit like the details. I was like, yeah, he threw up in the car. He's like, oh no, what did he eat? Breakfast.
Yeah. Don't ask the details.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry.
So same kid. He's younger. He's probably 2. He's in the backyard playing. And I'm inside, whatever. I don't know where I am. I'm probably in the other side of the house because I don't hear him at all. But I come to the front, and he's banging on the back door. Daddy! Ah! Bang, bang, bang. My neighbor's like, Nathan, are you okay? What's going on? And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So I unlocked it. I accidentally locked him in the backyard. Okay. Like, that's bad enough. That's bad enough. Both his feet and his ankles had tons of ants and ant bites all over them.
Oh no.
So he was 2 years old, screaming in the backyard, being attacked by ants, door locked, and I'm in the front of the house, can't hear a thing. I mean, I don't know how long he was back there, but that was horrible. I felt like the worst dad I deserve to go to hell because of that. It was terrible.
Yeah, you do,
gosh.
Don't you? Like, I mean, that's, yeah, you just do. I mean, it's the same way I felt when I left Ariel down in front of everybody. Like, my wife's got all this party of people over. Yeah, I just leave my kid in the basement on a normal, regular basis. Thanks, that's great. So yeah, terrible. It's. I will say a funny one. It wasn't me. I wasn't part of this. I was actually a youth at the time. But my youth leader left their. I can't remember how old she was. Left their daughter at church on accident. They drove separately, and they each thought the other one had her. And so, like, I was getting ready to leave. I was older than her. I really can't remember how old she was. She was probably like 7 or 8 or something like that. And she's like, where's my mom? And I was like, she left. And I was like, she was like, oh, so my dad's here? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw him leave too. And so I say that because I will probably do that at some point. We'll probably drive separately to church and think the other one has one of our kids and leave them at church. I could see that happen.
Yeah. The other one I've had recently,
Wow.
again, Paul Logan, is at the beginning of all this pandemic madness, we kind of figured that he was a really bad kid for sleeping, and like he used to scream, like wake up with screaming in the middle of the night, and we could never figure out why. And then like at the beginning of the pandemic, dietary wise, we were like we stopped giving him as much milk based stuff and dairy based stuff, and like he was starting to sleep better, his skin had gotten better, and we were like, what if it's milk? What if he's got an allergy to milk? And anyway, it turns out he's like got an allergy not to lactose but to milk and soya. Apparently it's something he'll grow out of when he gets older. But like a couple of weeks ago, I was on a bad week, so like getting to like the end of my 12-day shift, like 12-hour day shifts, 3 of them in a row. And I came down to do his breakfast one morning, and I'm like, he put his cereal in the bowl. I'm still half asleep, and he's got his own milk in a carton. Like he can have oat milk, but he can't have cow's milk and stuff like that, or soy milk. And so I reach into the fridge and just pour a white liquid onto his cereal. That's all my brain registered. And anyway, I sat down and he's eating his breakfast, and he's getting right into it. And the wife comes in, she goes, "What milk's that?" I'm like, it's his milk. It's like, no, it's the wrong color. It's the wrong color. And I'm like, what do you mean it's the wrong color? She goes, it's the wrong color. And I'm instantly like, shh. It's like, I taste the milk and I'm like, that's proper milk. I've just given him like blue top, so like full fat, full cow.
Oh my gosh.
Milk, and I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, oh, he's only eating the cereal. He's not drunk the milk. It's just like only a small. That night was the worst night we'd had with him for a long time. And like he's crying and in the middle of the night, he's holding his stomach, and I'm there holding him and cuddling him and trying to comfort him, and I'm crying, and I'm like looking at the wife, and I'm like, I can't believe I did this to him. I'm so bad. So yeah. But it's so often you get that. It's such a horrible feeling when you do something like completely by accident. You get so much guilt. It's unreal. It's the worst. Like I would rather chop my arm off than the kids cry for my wrongdoings and my fails.
Yeah,
you just such a horrible guilt.
Yeah. It is, and that's exactly what like the guy I was talking to was feeling, and I was like, man, it's okay. I was like, you are not the only one to make a mistake. I was like, doing the best you can. It's all gonna be okay. Your kid will be just fine. Like I know it doesn't seem that way right now, but you're fine. So yeah, we got one dad fail from hey, it's Chad, and let me tell you, we have topped him. So no worries, we've topped this one. He says, wow. Dad fail moment. My kids will never let me live up is how I split my pants on moving day a few years ago. It was an older pair. I didn't mind getting dirty because, well, we were moving. It happened at the old apartment complex we were moving out of, and I had to walk around pulling my jacket down, hoping no one would notice until we were able to get back to the new house to change. So thanks for sending that in. We really appreciate it. Joining in the conversation. Yep, we all have them. Something that happens.
You know, if we were to say talk about comedy dad fails and comedy dad fail moments, like trying to show my kids, oh yeah, I used to skateboard as a teenager. And like, check this out, bang, hit the floor. Oh, yeah. Look at this. I'm like, yeah, there's so many of those. Like doing backflips on the trampoline and nearly crippling myself and things. It's lots of dad funny fails. Just
yeah. Like if you're on a moped or something, that'd be a funny fail. No funny moped fails.
No, I don't have a moped.
Oh, okay. All right, good. All right. Let's go see if there's any notices on the bulletin board.
So, first of all, we want to thank all the Patreon members of the Nintendo Dads for hanging with us on Discord. You are seriously the best community on the internet, and we love you so much.
You're welcome, Sean.
I say you're now one of those people, then. So, yeah. Thanks for coming on. It's awesome. If you're listening to this and would like to chat with us and a whole bunch of other Animal Crossing fans, dads, food fans, Snack Dads has slowly become my favorite part of our Discord.
Seriously, yeah. That's a good channel right there.
You can join in all the action for as little as $1 a month over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. So one of the first community questions we've got, we kind of covered already in the Animal Crossing segment from Frosticles, who seemed really excited that we were recording again, and then asked the question of what the hell is the deal of all the mushrooms. So I know we probably won't spend a right lot of time on this now, Frosticles, because we kind of covered it in the Animal Crossing section. So, but thank you very much for your question. The only other question we've really got this time around is from Chris HL94, which is holiday gift ideas for the Nintendo player.
Game & Watch.
Yeah, that's really a good one because it's not super expensive. And I mean, if you can snag one,
good luck.
Yeah, which isn't easy, but if you were able to snag one, I mean, yeah, it really is like a decent, yeah.
So it's different over here. I reckon in the UK, if things were open for me to go and get one of those, I could probably go and pick one up today without much issue.
No, it is true. If you want to import it, you can import it for like $70 right now from Amazon.
I'm giving one away on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah. So
is it because you bought more than one?
Just a little plug. No. My co-host John did.
No.
I bought one and I didn't open it, and I thought to myself, I don't need this. It doesn't do anything that I can't already do, so I'm going to give it away. So you can go to my Twitter at BlockfortRetro, and it'll be up Wednesday, and then it'll be up for a few days, and then we'll choose a winner. So go check that out if you want one. Maybe it'll be you.
Yeah, so here's the deal. $65 on Amazon from the UK. The estimated delivery time is November 25th to April 26th, 2021. So, you'll get it. You'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, when and if we come out of the lockdown and essential shops can open again, because non-essential shops can open, because that's the issue I've got is the kind of the stores that I'd go to for that kind of stuff are all closed at the moment. If they've got loads left, I'll let people know on the Discord, and I'd quite happily send it from the UK. I'll probably be quicker than Amazon sending it if I send it. So
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Figure that one out.
Somebody else on our Discord bought one, and just became the Game & Watch section. Bought one and then and said that they didn't want it and they'd be willing to send it to somebody. So we got great people out here. You said it, man. We do. They're always looking up for us.
I mean, the original Game & Watch, there wasn't a right lot you could play on it other than Mr. Game & Watch, wasn't it? It was kind of like you could play ball.
Yeah, but there were like a bunch of them. There were like tons of different ones, and they all had different games on them.
So I'm assuming that they kind of took everything from all of them and put them in this one.
No. It's just Super Mario Brothers and the game Ball, which is like a juggling game, and a clock, and then a few Easter eggs and stuff. So it's fairly limited in its functionality, but it is a very cool thing to have on your shelf as a collector. Yeah.
So, the thing is, if I was like to say, to the wife, there's a birthday present idea for me, she'd probably look at me funny because I can play Super Mario.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So she'd be like, but yeah. I mean, I remember having a Game & Watch as a kid. I remember the one I had was the platformy Game & Watch. So the one where you literally just jumped over something. I can't really remember what it was like. I used to play it in the car on the way to my grandma's. It was literally like the year before I got my Sega Game Gear.
So what other holiday items? I'm sorry, were you saying something, Dan?
I was just going to say the Game & Watches, like the original old ones, are cool collector's items now. So if you're into like Nintendo history, you're a retro gamer, then it is a really cool gift. But yeah, if you just own a Switch and you like Switch stuff, I'm a big fan of the 8-bit Do SN30 Pro Plus controller. It looks like a Super Nintendo controller with sticks and wings, and it is very comfortable.
Nice.
And it's really good for Virtual Console or whatever, the Nintendo Switch Online games. It's really good for Mario 35 because it has a really good D-pad and the sticks, which you need for Mario 35. So that's a solid recommendation, I think. And not a lot of people have them.
I've got one of those. My eldest daughter got it for me for Father's Day like 2 years ago, and yeah, it's fantastic. The SNES controller was always one of those that always felt really nice in the hand. So to have that SNES controller in your hand, and then a bit like I use it to play Animal Crossing. That's my Pro controller. So I never bought an actual Pro controller.
That's interesting.
For me, holiday gifts I like the Mario Starlight that Nintendo did. I think that's really nice. I think if you like Dan, who's got his nice little. You've just got loads of stuff everywhere. So really jealous of your collection.
My garage.
Yeah. I was looking for one this year to put on the Christmas tree, a Mario style star to put on.
It's like a Christmas tree topper. Oh, okay.
No, you can get a Christmas tree topper, but the other one that I'm on about that I think Nintendo did it as an official merchandise is it's just a plug-in like bedside lamp. Basically.
Okay.
Probably suited more for a kid, but you know. For us in our 30s and onwards, as like we grew up with Nintendo and stuff, it's nice to have those little nostalgic touches. So,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I see it here. That's pretty cool. I was going to say the Satisfy grip. If the gamer doesn't have it, I mean that's pretty popular. I like mine, and so especially the new one is really nice. The old one kind of. Apparently scratched the back. I never bought the old one. I didn't buy it until the next one came out. But yeah, I mean, I think that I don't use it as much as some do. I don't swear by it as much as some do, but I do like it. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's a good one. I like the idea of the Satisfy, but it is also kind of bulky.
Mm-hmm. I agree,
especially with the case on it. So as an alternative to that, if you feel like your person you're buying your gift for wants a more like sleek option, but still wants kind of like a protection or grip, the company Mumba, M-U-M-B-A, makes a really good grip with a case combo that's fairly compact and it's protective like all the way around the Switch. As an alternative to the Satisfy, if you wanted something more sleek, that's a really good option also.
Yeah, that is cool. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it is cool.
Look at you. They have a just a light one because that's all I'm seeing right now. Oh no, there's the other.
They have 3 different versions. I have the Blade, I think.
Okay.
And they're all pretty comfortable. I mean, none of them are going to be as comfortable as the Satisfy. Mm-hmm. But they're designed to be compact and protective with like a little bit of grip. So it's like you get one without the other, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. And that's why sometimes I don't. So I'll have my grip on and it'll stay on for a good long while. And then like when I take it off to go somewhere, I'm like, it just kind of stays off until then finally, for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, I'll put that back on. So I go through long periods where it's on and then off and then on and then off. So yeah, I know.
Yeah, I never take this thing off. It stays on. You can even dock it with the one I have. So
cool.
It just stays on.
The other one is things like those pictures behind you, Nick. I think they're amazing. One of those used to be like my iWatch background for a long time.
That's the really Starry Night version, Super Mario version.
Yeah. I have no idea where they came. A friend gave them to me. That same friend that helped me out in Extra Life bought me these awesome pictures. And I don't know where they came from, so I can't tell you. But yeah, that's exactly right. Dan described it exact 100%. Starry Night version of Mario. So
yeah. So it's things like that. There's so much. A Nintendo player isn't just a fan of one aspect of Nintendo, which is how I feel. It's like so for me, like the wife, if one day just came home and she brought Mario Rabbids, and she's like, "Oh, I'll pick this up because I thought you'd like it," and I'd never like dropped an inkling as to ever wanting to play it. But fantastic game. She brought me that. That was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like plushies. There's all kinds of stuff. Like most people that play Nintendo tend to have a collection of something somewhere. So.
Right. Amiibo are pretty good bet too.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's true. You got the Lego sets. If that, you got to know your person for that. So that might, they may not be into building Lego sets, but if you know that that's something that they might like, then that's definitely.
Who is this imaginary person you're making up, Nick, who doesn't like to build Lego sets but likes Nintendo?
That's a fair.
Who is that?
Fair point. That's fair.
Have you met a person like this? Because
maybe not. Just a little nervous. I was just trying to hedge my bet just in case.
All right. Okay. All right. I hear that.
I was struggling this year. I wanted to have some nice like Christmas tree decorations for our tree that were Nintendo related, because it's kind of like I look at our tree and there's like loads of different things. So like there's we've got a Harry Potter bauble, we've got like a bauble for each kid that like they've made or like is significant to them, and then we've got a COVID bauble, which literally is just like it's a clear plastic bauble with like a piece of rainbow card inside, and it says 2020, the year we stayed at home. So it's like our COVID reminder. But I was looking at the Lego sets, so you can get like the blind buy minifigures, can't you? So like, and they tend to be like a scene. So you get like the there's like what they call cheap and stuff like that. All the different Nintendo, like not Mario characters, but different like enemies and stuff like that. You can get those in like little plastic minifig bags. And then you can buy the clear baubles, which you can open up. So I was thinking of getting some of those minifigs, building them up, put them inside the baubles, close the bauble, and hey, presto, you've got Lego, like Mario minifig Christmas tree decorations.
That's kind of a cool idea.
I was looking at that, but then it's kind of like those minifigs are getting quite expensive now. It's Christmas, so.
Yeah, I actually just kind of bought my first Lego set for the Mario set, and I bought it for the kiddos. They don't seem to be they were into building it, but they're not into playing with it. So it'll probably end up on the shelf somewhere for me. But there you go. Anything else on the form of gifts? So that's a couple of our ideas. We will hit this topic real quick, but we're getting pretty late here. Pre-order madness. So Dan, you pre-ordered a Game & Watch. I've pre-ordered we didn't really pre-order a Game & Watch. It was more like
you ordered it the day
there
it came
they
out.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair point. And so I pre-ordered the Microsoft. I pre-ordered the Xbox. The only reason I got the Xbox, I had it in my cart at Walmart.com. And they were very good, unlike the PS5 where it just kind of came out and everybody was like, Nintendo said Microsoft said it'd be out at 11, and it was. Like, I refreshed at 11, and there it was. I had it in my cart. I was ready to buy it at 11:03, and they were sold out. Like, literally in 3 minutes, they were sold out. Yeah. And so then I really wanted one of these, so I frantically called my GameStop, and they, sure enough, still had one, so I quickly drove over there and put money down on it. So yay for GameStop. That doesn't happen not very often to podcast do people say yay for GameStop. So there you go. So if it wasn't for them, though, I wouldn't have an Xbox right now, because they were sold out just like that. But it just seems that, like, I've gone through the pre-order for the Xbox now. I've gone through the pre-order for Mario Pins, which was an utter disaster. Like, that was way worse than Microsoft. Those pins were a day-long process for me to get them. Like, I feel like they went from free to a day of my life in a matter of, one day. So why does pre-ordering stuff for video games suck? What do you think?
See, I've never had an issue. It seems really, in the UK, it seems really, for me, it seems really crazy that people go as mad as they do. I know this year people are having issues with the PS5 and the Xbox. There's a friend of ours that came and dropped Logan's present off, and I had a chat at the door, and she was on about not being able to get a PS5 for her son for Christmas, and she was like, I'm really panicking because I missed the first round of like consoles coming out, so I don't know when the second round's coming out, which for anybody listening and doesn't know, it's the 19th of November, the next round of console releases for
PS5?
Yeah. Because I quickly Googled that for a while. I was stood at the door to try and make it feel a bit better. But it's the Xbox One. My dad got a day release one of those. He kind of like, he came out and he was like, I think I'm going to go and get one. And he kind of like just drove to Smith's, like the toy store near us, and was like, I just picked it up, walked in, picked it up. There wasn't like a mad rush for anything. And it was the same with the Switch. I thought the Switch was going to be absolutely rammed in the UK, and I picked up a day one Switch. We went to Smith's the day it was released, and I was like, "No, I'll take that, thanks."
Switches seem to be. I remember that day too, and they had extra where I pre-ordered. So Switches seemed to be in pretty good supply back then. There were supply chain issues this year, obviously because of COVID. So I'm sure that contributed to a lot of that supply issue.
Also, I think with Switches, this is anecdotal completely. I think you had people maybe like me who had, I didn't pre-order the Wii U, but I bought it day one. That's the day I knew that the Wii U was going to be an issue, because I walked into Walmart and there was some poor sap sitting there, bored out to tears, with like 4 Wii U's right next to him. And I was
gosh,
can I just have one of those? And he's like, yeah, please. I was like, are these all for sale? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yep. And I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. And so I skipped the launch of the Switch, unsure if I was really going to get in on it, which is funny to think that not too long ago I wasn't sure if I was going to have the newest Nintendo console. And here I am on a Nintendo podcast. But then quickly realized, oh, this looks like a solid, like Nintendo's back in form. And so like it was a few months later that I ended up picking it up. Actually, July of the launch year is when I got mine. So I wonder if that wasn't a thing with Nintendo Switch coming off of a not great console launch.
Yeah, I was the same. I was like, they kind of showed in all the adverts for this really fluid transition between handheld and docked, and like launching your game. And I was like, yeah, no, nothing can do it. Like Xbox can't do that properly now. And that was like in the Xbox One era. And I was like, it's never going to work. And then boom, I think I went over it in the last podcast, but it's so fluid in the transition of everything. It's amazing. So, but yeah, I think conspiracy theories have been coming out, but I think that the Microsoft and Sony kind of do it on purpose. Builds hype. So, they pre-order all these, and then you can't get your pre-order. So then everybody's like really frantic, especially towards the Christmas period, really frantic of, right, I need one. I need to get one. So it's like people start doing anything they can. So you'll find that they're selling them on eBay for like double their price, and it becomes the whole grab it as and when you can sort of thing. And it kind of, you get a hype behind it, which is a fantastic standpoint for a sales pitch, that look how high in demand we are. We're so high in demand, we've run out of units, but don't worry, in another month's time, we're going to drop a load more. And that's when you'll find that the market's absolutely diluted with them and you can pick them up anywhere.
I don't think that companies are creating a false demand. At least not. I mean, I don't think the video game companies are doing that. I think that it is too risky to create false hype in that way, especially since like scalpers are such a thing. Like the demand is there, and if you're not selling consoles where there's demand, then you're losing money. Like
especially
hand over fist, you're losing money now. So it's I don't think that that's true. I think that they are lazy. I think that if companies had way more forethought about the end consumer, about how they're pre-ordering and what their habits are. And if they had better partnerships with retailers, they could say pre-orders are open 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Pre-orders are open. Get your pre-order in now and you're guaranteed to get one. We're going to close pre-orders in a month. You know, that way they know this is how many we need to make. Boom. You know what I mean? Like even though most of them are already made, they can still push them out. You know, they don't do that. Limited Run does that. And it's great. Yeah. As many pre-orders as you want for this day, you get them in and you'll get one. And then in 6 months, you get your thing or whatever, you know? Make a few extra for people in the store or whatever, but I will never understand why companies do not serve their most passionate fans this way. Why don't they do it? What's stopping them? It's laziness is what it is. They're just like, whatever, just throw them on the shelves, let the retailers figure it out. Microsoft tried, I think, harder than Sony did to make those partnerships work. And you saw that with like pre-orders go up at 11 and there they were, you know? Sony was a hodgepodge. That PS5 pre-order crap was ridiculous.
But that's on the partnership with the retailer. It sure sounds like, because in their not direct, but whatever.
It's still lazy. It's still lazy on the side of the producer of the product, because they could either strong arm or make a very strong incentive for the retailers to follow the rules. Very strong incentives, but they're lazy. They don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's true. And to be honest, that's why I would have loved to really have sit there and weighed the PlayStation and the Xbox, but I was like, I don't really care that much about Spider-Man. No offense for all those people who love it. Yeah. And so whatever. And this is the console that I can get right now. So, okay, that was really how it worked out. So you're right. I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to hold back, especially when there are consumers out there that's not going to drop $1,000 for two consoles. No. So they're going to make a decision, and more than likely they're going to make the decision. The decision isn't going to be weighed on what they've put into these boxes. It's going to be, well, I want this now, and this is what I can get, and so that's what I'm going to get, And that, I mean, to some degree, I knew I'd be fine with either one, but to some degree, that's how I made mine. I was like, well, this is a pre-order I can get, and PlayStation's pretty much shot. Yeah. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you go like on the terms of like Microsoft versus Sony on how they handled it, the all access idea that Microsoft came out with, so the pay monthly, get your goods sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I think that helped them a lot. I think there's more people I've spoken to that have picked up a new Xbox that have gone for the pay monthly rather than buying the unit outright. So it's just made it more affordable. Mm-hmm. So, and plus, they also know then that they've got a guaranteed like constant revenue, and they can balance how many they need. So
it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, it was brilliant, because people don't think of it is a good deal, but in a way, but what they have really done is not only locked you into buying a console, but they've locked you into their top tier service for 5 years.
Yep.
I mean, that's brilliant. Mm-hmm. I was actually thinking about it until I looked at the price and said, well, what if I don't want Ultimate 3 years down the road? I've now locked myself into paying for it one way or another. And that's actually why I didn't go that route, is I just I don't know that I'm going to want Ultimate. And if I don't want to have to pay for it for 5 years. No, but it looks great, and it is great as long as you know you want it. But man, if you don't, yeah.
The minute I know my job's safe at work, I will be dropping the all access. It'll be the first thing I do. Oh, yes, sure. Yeah. You, as of April next year, you are still going to be with the business. Excellent. Let me just nip onto the Microsoft website. I've got an Xbox.
Celebrate.
Yeah, that's cool.
Treat yourself.
All right, because we're running short on time, there's a lot of questions here, but there's one that I want to talk to you about, Dan, because you always come out, and I always kind of just prod you a little bit on it on Discord. You immediately, I'll see you post to Discord. You did with Game & Watch. It was $95. Some guy was selling it, and you're like, a-hole selling this scalpers. I hate these people. And I'm like, but don't they have a right to sell that? I mean, why can't they? Where's the line drawn for game stores of like when you can sell something and when you can't? And this is like a legit conversation. I'm not picking at you. Like I've always been interested to have this conversation with you about this. And I thought, well, this is a perfect time. Like it just happened. We can have a convo about it. So like, what is your thought on it? I really want to know.
Man, it's just here's the thing. Do they have the right to do it? Yeah. It's free country. You can do whatever you want. Are you a huge jerk? Since this is a clean podcast, are you the biggest jerk on earth for doing it? Yes, you are. You are, and I will call you out for it. I have had the opportunity to do this in my own retro game store that I have on eBay, and I've chosen not to. I do not. I do not do it because it is anti-consumer, and I am not going to do that. That's just not. I'm not going to take advantage of people like that. I'll give it away as a promo before you know what I mean? Like I'm doing that with the Game & Watch.
Yeah, you are.
So yeah. So like, here's the thing. And like, I 100% blame the person for doing it. I also 100% blame the retailer, and I 100% blame the manufacturer. So
you don't blame the buyer?
No, they're just trying to buy a thing.
Well, how could you? It exists because someone buys it, though. I mean, like the scalper exists because somebody, like the video game industry can piss and moan about that it happens, but somebody has to. If nobody would buy their crap, then there would be no scalper, right?
See, no, I agree with Dan on this one. The book stops with the person trying to sell the product. The person buying it just wants it. And that's why you've got like Ticketmaster and the rules around concert tickets now. It doesn't fall on the person that wants to have the ticket to go see the live concert. It's the person that then buys for like 400 tickets off the bat because he knows he can make more money. He can make
exactly
even a 10% profit by chucking it under the table and being like, well, look, here, I've got one. I know you can't get one. You pay an extra $100 or £100 more and you guarantee you can have it.
It's bad. It's bad for the company because it leaves a very bad taste in the mouth of the consumer who wants the thing. And you don't want you don't want a bad taste in the mouth of the consumer. What should be happening is the manufacturer and the retailer have a better relationship. So the retailer doesn't sell 3, 4, 5 of the same item to the same person. There are ways to get around the bots who do that. And for some reason, websites are very slow to adopt those things.
Well, I mean, they just want them sold. Let's be honest.
Exactly. That's why the manufacturer needs to be the one to say, hey, look, here's some incentives. We're going to pay for the software. We're going to make sure that our end customer has a good experience and not have to pay 2, 3 times the price for it while it's on store shelves, right? So it's on the fault of the manufacturer and the retailer for wanting that for the manufacturer and for their consumer. And it's also on the jerk selling it to just go ahead and don't figure out a different way to make money because it is because I hate you. That's why.
Yeah. See, the thing that I'll do is when I get the new console, the Xbox One S that I've got, like I keep the boxes for everything. My garage is just full of empty boxes for like any electrical product that we ever have. Because obviously it helps the resale. Is that I will then try and sell that for the most amount of money I can make off it, rather than selling buying a console and then thinking people want this so bad. I did it once with a Wii, but I didn't do it purposely. I bought the Wii, played it, and then it was that the year that I got the Wii was the year that the Wiis went absolutely nuts and every man and the dog wanted one. I think it was because of the Wii Fit board and stuff like that. So I'm sat there and I've got this Wii, 2 controllers, a couple of games, and I paid £200 for it. And then I'm looking online and people are paying £400, £500, £600 just for the console. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do right now. And like I sold it. I tripled my money, but it's not like I had lots of them. I then didn't have the console.
I did that with Ring Fit Adventure. And here's the line. I'm going to tell you where the line is, Nick. The line is...
you knew where I was going.
Yep, I already know. Listen, here's the line. I did not buy Ring Fit Adventure for the explicit purpose of reselling it, of turning it around and reselling it immediately. I didn't even think I was going to sell it. I bought it. I played it. I said, it's not for me. It was fetching a high price. So I sold it as used because I used it. That is a very different thing than programming a bot to buy 20 Xbox Series X's, getting them all delivered to your house, and then selling them off one by one and creating more demand than there needs to be.
Well, let me say, I think, and this might be an illogical line. I don't know. It's the line that I think I draw personally. I think the bot scripting is an issue. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I have no issue with somebody who is just gonna, like, I don't know even how it works, but you send the bot out and they pick up from multiple stores, however many they can get, and you end up with like, 20, 30 of these things. I have no qualm with saying that. Well, I have no qualm with saying actually that in some way it would be great if that was just illegal. Like, I mean, it seems like at some level it should be.
It's highly anti-consumer.
Yeah, for the guy who sits in a line or either in a digital queue or a regular queue and picks one up, and if he wants to flip it and make some money off of it, I just don't see any issue with that. It's how our economy is completely and utterly built. I just don't understand how that. I mean, especially like the picture that you showed of the guy that was selling it for $90. I was like, well, I mean, couple hours worth of work, you get $20 an hour, I mean, that's not a bad pay. That seems fair. You didn't have to do anything. Whoever buys it doesn't have to do anything. They just get to pick it up. I mean, that's how we work. I mean, we make something, we do something, we sell something for more than it's made. I mean, Nintendo's, that's how the whole economy comes together. I do agree though. I can totally go with you on the bot thing. The bot thing, should somehow be illegal. I don't know how you do that, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that's saying, well, that doesn't make any sense because they made a bot and now they can do what they want, and that's illogical. And I get it. That's just my like logical line in the sand of this whole thing.
Yeah. And I agree that those kind of bots should be illegal. It's kind of, you're taking advantage of a checkout system, and it just is gross and sleazy. And you're creating false demand for a product that doesn't, you know what I mean? If those bots were illegal and there were people buying one and reselling that one, I guarantee you the prices wouldn't nearly be as high as they are. And so people probably wouldn't even do that. It's all on the bots.
You think there's that many PS5s right now? You think that if the bots weren't there, and I mean, I don't know, you could be right. I'm just it's the whole thing, whatever. You think there's enough that would, you really do? You think that many are getting snapped up by bots?
Well,
and you very well could be right.
One person who has 20, and I don't know, even if like 1,000 people are doing that, which there probably are at least, that's 20. That's 20,000 PS5s.
That's fair.
That could have gone to an individual.
I've seen lots of different photos on social media of people that have like got 5 just on 5 PS5 sat on the stairs, and it's like, but what's the point? That you basically one for yourself, that's great, but that means that you've possibly ruined 4 people's Christmases.
Yep,
because that's
exactly. People are broke; they're hard up. Don't do that.
I will say it is amazing to me. I mean, so we had 3 or 4 people in our Discord that got Xboxes. Mm-hmm. Actually, if I wouldn't have opened my Xbox, I would have returned it, because I walked into my local Meijer 2 hours after I opened it, I needed to get shopping done, and there was an Xbox S right there, and I get 10% off from Meijer. So like I could have bought it for like $270. I probably had some Meijer bucks. I could have got it for probably $260. Well, no, $270 after tax. But then I would have had to go home and rebox everything because, you know, GameStop has the serial code of your thing. So I would have had to rebox mine and blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not going to deal with that. So I didn't. But Microsoft, yeah, Xbox has seen much more available. But man, the PS5s, because I made that shout out in the Nintendo channel to be like, okay, so did anybody actually get one? And nobody responded with a, yeah, I got one. You know, I got a pre-order. I got something. I got nope. I was shocked by that. I was like, wow. And I don't know if that's because, I mean, PlayStation does seem to be coming in, you know, obviously with the lead in like that console's more hot and there's actually some exclusives to play and people are pumped about the controller seems cooler. And yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. So maybe they do have the same quantities or close to, and PlayStation just has more demand at the moment. I don't know. But yeah, that did seem crazy that we didn't have one person get one.
Yeah.
So
the other reason why I'm glad I haven't jumped in on any of the next gen stuff is that there's lots of issues, I've been told, with a few things like the PlayStation. If you try and play the Spider-Man that came out for the PS4 and remaster, it's making the console go into a factory reset state and basically bricking the console. Xbox Series X, some of them are having drive issues. The whole pick up where you left off of the game not working, so that's another software issue. A lot of the Xbox Series X's, like you try and launch a game and then 5 seconds later the whole system shuts down. There seems to be a lot of gremlins.
Yeah. I mean, and that is something you get, right? I mean, you know, I always you know. I knew when I picked up my Xbox, there's a chance that it's going to overheat. Lord knows we had enough red rings of death, or, you know, there's always a million different things that can happen. If you're an early adopter, now see, and this is like maybe my Dan stance, because somebody's going to be like, well, they should have made it right and it shouldn't be an issue and blah, blah, blah. But I guess I've been in enough electronics.
You're always going to get defects.
Yeah, I've been in enough of this deal, in enough of these early adopter things that it's like, well, I'm taking the risk. It's a gamble. I get to have fun before some other people. There's a possibility that mine might, you know, get jacked because it's, you know, it's new and, you know, you're testing the waters. My quick resume on my Xbox doesn't work at all. That's not the end of the world, but it does really affect me because that's how I plan to play, was to hop down here, play for a little bit, shut it off, and then be able to quick resume it. And that's just utterly, like, the quick resume just is broken. It sends me back to the main menu every time I open it back up.
So that must be a bug, because I can guarantee if I went upstairs now and turned on my Xbox One S and launched Doom Eternal, because it was the last game I played, it will literally start from where I last died.
Oh yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Mine, it says your profile needed to be logged back in. And it is a bug. Because I searched it, because not being an Xbox guy, I thought, well, maybe I'm just doing something wrong. Like I don't have my profile set up right or something. But no, Microsoft has come out and said, yeah, they're aware of it and they're working on a fix. But hey, we have gone long, and Dan looks like he's about to fall over in his chair. So all things considered, why don't you send us out, Sean?
Okay. Well, just very first, thanks, Dan, for coming back. It's nice to have your voice in my ears again on a morning. So that's been nice. Now, Dad Crossing is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can find new Nintendo Dads Crossing content wherever podcasts are found. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us here at Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Everything is at @NDadCrossing. We want to give the Nintendo Dads a massive thanks, as always, for enabling us in creating this content. From Nick, Dan, and myself, we hope your village is sunny and your villagers are happy. Stay safe, folks.
See you later.
Now we'll go back.